I got my tuberculosis test result from IOM. Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Mama's Tula. If you're a new subscriber here, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and comment. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you, and I hope I've been of help to you guys this far. So while we're here, this is the tuberculosis test I did. Now if you're going to the UK, US, Canada, I don't know about other countries, you are going to be mandated to do this tuberculosis test. So in my last video I talked about making a video on this particular test, but I wasn't so sure how everything would turn out, and I really wanted to do it first before making this video. So I'm going to talk about it firsthand and not what I hear from other people and all that. So my appointment was for 12th May, which was last week Thursday, but I'm not shooting the video. Today is 19th or 18th May. I'm talking based on Nigeria because my home country is Nigeria. You're going to have to do the mandatory tuberculosis test, which is what I have here with me. So I'm going to be talking about the entire process, how I went about the test, how much I paid, and everything that I personally experienced while doing the test. So I did my test on 12th May. Now, when you want to do this IOM tuberculosis test, you have to book ahead of time. You can't just walk in there like a normal hospital to say, oh, you want to do a tuberculosis test. No, you have to book ahead of time. So I booked for my appointment, I think this is May. I booked for my appointment in April, and the nearest available date was 12th May. And I was even very lucky because when I tried booking the first time, it didn't work, and I had just 3 slots left for that day before it would be filled up, and then I would have had to move to the next available date. So when I booked, there was just 1 slot left for 10:31 a.m. I think, and I had to now extend my stay in Abuja because fortunately I was in Abuja when the email was sent to me by my school to do the tuberculosis test. And tuberculosis, the test is valid for 6 months from the day you do the test. So it's also advised to be sure when you're traveling before you do the test, so you don't spend the money you spend in doing the test again, because it's not cheap actually. And then given the expenses, if you're trying to relocate, you wouldn't want to be wasting that money. So you have to be sure when you're going before you do the tuberculosis test. In my case, I'm supposed to be leaving in August, hopefully last week of July or early August, but whichever way it is, my test is going to expire in November, which is 6 months. So please, if you're going to school in January, you're not advised to do it now. You should wait until it's a bit close to your date before you do it. And another reason I had to do my test now is because I was already in Abuja when the email was sent to me. Instead of going back to Abuja, I had to do it there. And again, the test is done in just 3 states in Nigeria: Abuja, Lagos, and Benin. And I stay in Port Harcourt, so I was really fortunate to have gotten the email when I was still in Abuja. So yeah, back to the test. So after booking, you're supposed to pay 57,800. Now this is the most stupid thing I did. I'm even feeling embarrassed talking about it now. Now when I finished booking, they sent me an email, but I did not bother to read the attachment on the email. There was another link that was sent on the email, but I never bothered to check that link because I was thinking, oh, maybe it's just the regular what's it called, the normal things that come with official email. So I didn't think there was a need to open it, so I just flunked my hands there. I got to the venue as at 8 o'clock or 7, some minutes to 8 thereabouts. And again, please, I would advise you go very early very very early as you possibly can, because as early as I thought I was, my number was 44. So you can imagine the time people started going there. And then the good thing is the place is quite organized. It's not like every other government office. I mean, the one in Abuja, which is where I did my own, it's not like the regular government offices like immigration, where everybody's acting all high and mighty. They are very polite, very very polite. So the wait was not so, it wasn't so tiring per se, but still, please go very early as you can, so because it's on first come first serve basis, irrespective of the time of your appointment. So your appointment is by 12, doesn't mean they won't attend to you if you go first by 7 or by 6:30, but they start I think 8 o'clock, because as at the time I got in, that already started capturing. So here's what happens. You go, when you get there, the security will check everything. Oh yeah, before that, back to my story. So I forgot to check the email, and when I got there, I saw everybody carry files, and I felt really unserious, so I had to ask a lady by my side. So she said I was supposed to have printed my proof of payment. In fact, it was even as at that, on that line, before I even asked, I had to check the email again, and that was when I saw there was a link I'm supposed to click to check what I need to come with, the amount and all that, and that I ought to have paid for the test before coming to the venue. So I didn't even bother checking all of that. So I panicked a bit because of the parts that it states boldly you should have paid prior to the date of your appointment. So on the queue, I had to do my transfer immediately, 57,800, and luckily for me it was standard chartered to standard chartered, so I knew they were going to get the alert, or it was going to reflect in their account almost immediately. So I did that on the line, and every other person was carrying printed slips, printed receipts. But since I did mine on the line, and the place isn't a business area, it's more of a residential area or private offices, there was nowhere I could print. So I just went there. I met the security, and he said it's fine. They just checked my name because I already have a database of people who are coming, and my name was there, so I didn't really have to show all of those printed things and all that. They just checked my name, checked that I had paid. That's, I showed them on my phone, and I went inside. They gave me the tag. I went inside. So when you go inside, there's a waiting area. Now there's UK, there's US, there's Canada. I think I saw Australia as well, but the three main countries were UK, US, and Canada, especially UK and Canada. So they were ushered to where our countries are. Mine was UK, so I had to go upstairs. Canada was downstairs, and I think America, Canada, the rest countries were downstairs. UK has the highest number of applicants, so they took our passports there and then called our numbers. We went in to their data processing room. They had to cross-check our files. Now, if you are pregnant, it's very important to let them know you are pregnant. I was there while they were asking a lady why they do that. Is because the x-ray, you're supposed to do an x-ray for the tuberculosis test, and the x-ray has to be done on people who are not pregnant, because if you're pregnant, I think it has some sort of effect on the baby. I don't really know, I'm not medically inclined, but from what I read on their form, and from the things I heard them tell other people while they were asking us questions, you need to be sure you're pregnant or not, because there was a lady they were asking, and she kept saying, oh, she doesn't know, she's not sure, and all that. So if you're pregnant, please do well to tell them you're pregnant. And if you are not sure, it's best to just do the pregnancy test before you come in. Even though the pregnancy test inside is free, I'm not sure anybody would want to waste their time even further, because the wait is quite long, and the earlier you go and do your thing, the earlier you leave, or the earlier you are done and you wait for your results. So yeah, if you're pregnant or you're not sure you're pregnant, please be sure, so you tell them you're pregnant. I don't really know what they do in cases of pregnancy, but on the form I filled, more like terms and conditions I agreed to, I saw that one of the clauses said something like you're aware of the consequences on the child, something like that. I can't really put it in the exact words, and you agree to do this x-ray and we're not going to be held liable, those kind of things. So it's very important. Now, after we finished the data thingy, they took our names, printed out the slip, and asked us to go for the x-ray. So after the x-ray, the doctor would see you and ask you necessary questions like, have you been around anybody with tuberculosis, have you been sneezing, have you been coughing, and do you have any ailment, all of those kind of questions. And that was it. So as at 11, before 11, I was done with the screening and meeting the doctor. So I was asked to wait for the result, and they said I should come back by 2-3, the results will be ready. So I left. Now, if you don't have a place to stay, you can just hang around in there, but the place is really very organized. They don't even let you just walk around aimlessly. You have to, everybody is just in a particular place you're being ushered to. So what else? Now, I had to leave, and I came back at 2:33ish to get the results, which is this. The results are out the same day if you're able to come early enough. That's why I'm emphasizing on please go early, except you're not in a hurry and you have all the time to come back another day, the next day maybe, to pick the result. But the results are out the same day. Now, when the results are out, that's like the deciding moment, because there are some people who might just get unlucky, and maybe the x-ray is not clear, they see something that is not right, or you actually have the tuberculosis. You may have to come back in 8 weeks, and I don't think anybody would want to do that, given the urgency of whatever it is you're applying to and why you're leaving Nigeria. And I don't know if there's any financial implication for you coming back, but I think there is a financial implication for you coming back to do that test. So, and I pray it doesn't get to that point for anybody, or at least any of you, or anybody that you know. So if your case is not, if your own x-ray comes out normal, they just hand the results over to you, and that's about it. Again, in cases where you misplace your results, that you can pay for reissue of the results. I think that's 8,600 thereabouts, but I'm not certain of that figure anymore. But it's clearly written on the portal, where when you book the appointment, the message they send to you, it's there. When you click on the link, the amount is there. So if you misplace your certificate, there's nothing to be worried about. You can always go back, pay that money, and collect the certificate. I was able to make some videos which I'll play after this video, so you see what the place looks like and the few places I was able to capture during the entire exercise. Easy peasy. There is really nothing special that you're supposed to do and all that. It's just very easy. Go there early, get your TB test done, you wait for your results, and then you come back, and that's it. So I'm going to put what the test results looks like on the screen, and then I'm going to show the few clips I was able to take of the place. I couldn't really do much because I didn't really know if it was allowed, so I just had to do it on code. So if you have any questions regarding this TB test and how to go about it, please ask on the comment section. And you cannot just, please, very important, the TB test is not done just about anywhere. It is done at IOM approved centers. I think it's UN, it's a part of a branch of UN. So you have to do it at all those 3 centers in Nigeria, either Lagos, Abuja, or Benin. So you choose the one that's closest to you, and then you do your test. And another thing, because of the possibility of unavailability of appointment dates, okay, that English is very long, yeah, but you understand what I mean. It's very important that you book before your class even comes out. Worst case scenario, you're not going to show up for the appointment. In fact, the email they sent to me, this is exactly what they said in boldly written words. You do not really have to wait for the rush hour, because all of these things will be needed during your visa application. So you don't really have to wait for the rush hour. Once you have your unconditional offer letter, of course, the duration, and then the duration is not beyond 6 months, maybe 5 months, 4 months, you can as well go ahead and book for your appointment and then do the tuberculosis test. Worst case scenario, you're not going to show up and you do another booking. But in case you're not in a hurry and you want to go and you book the test as at the time you want to go, then there is a problem, because you might not get to do the test, and I don't think it can be influenced. So please, it's very important that you get these things done early enough so you don't get to do the rush hour thing. And in case I have misheard, or maybe there's something I left out, or there's something I said that isn't true, please do well to put it down. I mean, I'm still learning. Like I said, this is a process. This is the first time I'm doing these things. I've never done this before. So I'm also learning, and then maybe it might help somebody else with whatever questions they have. And yes, some people went with families. I don't know how they do families, because there are some families that came with 3, 4, 5, 2 kids, 1 child, as the case may be. So I think I don't know if all the children are registered. I don't even know if the kids get to do the x-ray. I really don't know. I have no information about that. But what I know is families come and they call the families together to do the x-ray or to do the tuberculosis test. I don't really know what they do for the children, but I know they come together in groups as they are. So that's about it for how I got my tuberculosis test. This is what the envelope looks like. I'm going to put the tests on the screen. Please do well to subscribe, like, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Yeah, so till my next video. And I'm hoping to get, I've complained before that my school fees has not been deducted yet. So my next video hopefully is going to be on my CAS or the bank I used. So I don't want to say anything about the school fees yet, because I want the bank to deduct the money, then I will have a better review on that aspect. But so far so good. I think I know the banks to avoid, or from my own experience, I think I know a particular bank I would advise you avoid when paying your school fees, and especially if you're using the Form A, because I have serious issues right now, serious waiting issues right now. So when the thing comes out, when the money has been deducted and the cash comes out, then I'll do another video on how I went about the school fees and everything I did regarding the school fees. So till then, have a good time wherever you are, and the next slides are going to be my visit or the IOM office where I did the tuberculosis test. Bye.